Well folks, today I'm going to talk about the biggest mistake, or one of the biggest mistakes that I made when I first got into working with energy. And let's just talk why I got into that. Well, I'd seen how the NHS reach a certain point with people and they write them off, and they would always come to me and ask me if there was any hope. And it used to steal a piece of my soul to look someone in the eye that's just been given a death sentence and tell them that there's nothing you could do. So that was where it started. But what pushed me over the edge, what motivated me to really get stuck in, to really, to accelerate my path, was when my granddad got cancer. And I knew what was in store for him with the NHS. I knew the path that he was going to go down, and I wanted to try something else. So I went in wanting to help him. And on this journey, I went in with my brain fundamentally scrambled onto what health and well-being was, because I'd been trained as a nurse. My whole medical background was all around the physical aspect of health and well-being. And let's face it, the NHS is a patch-up service. It addresses physical health only. Now, there are services and bits and pieces it does around the others, but let's talk about health and well-being. It's a four circles, so let's look at it like wheels on a car. Physical health is just one of those wheels. You've got your mental health, your emotional health, and your spiritual health. And sometimes it's not realistic. If someone's dying, it's not realistic to think that you can physically, work on their physical health. That's not a realistic goal. Energy work then becomes working on people's mental, spiritual and emotional health to help them through that transition. And I have worked with hundreds, if not thousands of people in that transition, folks. So I'm not just speculating on this. I've been there and done it in the trenches. I've been right at the front and central and worked with a lot of people in this zone. And going into energy work with expectations is one of the biggest damaging things that you can do as an energy practitioner. Because again, some people have to get worse before they get better. Sometimes working with energy means you have to amplify the pain symptoms so that people get the result. And sometimes energy work is about highlighting where the real problem is, the root cause problem. Now, if you're feeling ill and depressed all the time and you're in an abusive relationship, then me working on you, or any healer working on you, will only get you to a certain point. Ultimately, you have to leave a relationship that's abusive for any good to come of it. So sometimes energy work has to amplify the symptoms of pain and suffering so that you're more motivated to actually leave the thing that's causing you the pain in the first place. And some people aren't ready for that, folks. And that's another lesson that comes with time. So these are things to think about on this journey. Yes, you can be a healer. Yes, you can want to help people. But ultimately, you have to flush out whether people are truly ready to help themselves. And when push comes to shove, most people aren't. And that's the unfortunate reality of health and well-being, that people cling to their problems because it gives them their energy and attention. And without that, they wouldn't know how to exist. So you need to flush out secondary gain. And secondary gain is something that we'll talk about in another video.